The spray can paint on the Carolina build never hardened, and so it sticks to its guitar stand and also comes off on your arm and gets all over the components. Keith offered to respray it. In the meantime, what am I going to do with these delicious pickups? Wait, I have an idea. Originally, it was a choice between putting them in the black guitar, known as Dita, or putting them in the Carolina build. In retrospect, I think I chose unwisely. The Tonerider Classic Blues Alnico II pickups are dirty. They're grimy. They should be in a guitar that you can pretty much abuse. Well, now that I've switched Dita over to 10s and straightened up the buzz problem with the strings as well as the tuning stability issues, it's a good guitar. It also happens to be, at over 8 pounds, much heavier than the Carolina, much more substantial, much easier to throw around, much more durable. By making the choice to keep the pick guards intact, all I have to do is disconnect the grounding wire to the body inside the shielded cavity and also change the wires for the output jack. I also have to make sure to keep the bridge grounded. Well, in this black guitar, the wire for the bridge grounding actually comes through the cavity for the output jack and attaches to the inside of the shielded compartment. Not a big issue. I just have to make sure to remember to do the same thing when I install the new pickguard. Swapping one for the other amounts to about 4 wires, so it shouldn't really be too much of an issue. Of course, since I was the one that did the work the first time, some of the soldering is a little shoddy, so I might as well go ahead and try to clean it up. Connect the wires with some solder, and then slide the sleeve over, and then hit it with a heat gun to shrink it down. Now the bridge wire and the ground coming off of the pickguard are both grounded to the shielded cavity. I've pulled the hot and the ground output from the pickguard components through the hole into the output jack compartment already. So all I have to do is slide the new pickguard with the Tonerider pickups into place and then go ahead and wire up the output jack. Note to self in the future, give myself more slack with the strings. Now all I have to do is attach the wires to the output jack, and it's not in its housing, so that makes this a little bit easier. And unlike the first time, I'm trying to make the connections as clean as possible with as little solder as possible, which really means I accidentally disconnect the wires and have to start all over again. But like my grandfather always said, do it right or do it twice. Sometimes you can do it right 3 or 4 times if you don't leave it alone. Thanks to the TD100 build, I now know to go ahead and put the jack in so that the tip of the output jack has its back to the top of the plug. That way gravity will hold the 1/4-inch cable in place against that tip instead of pulling away from it. This will maintain a solid connection longer and probably lead to fewer problems in the future. Oh, speaking of problems, did I mention the new pickguards don't always come in the same size as the old pickguards? Yours may vary, but sometimes they require a slight bit of modification. And by slight, I mean 10 of the 11 screws needed new holes. But that's fine. Look how easily the screws go in the new holes. Once you've been doing this for a while, you realize that these things are not necessarily fragile or delicate. They are precious. They are important. They are to be treasured. But they're not easily broken, he says as he bathes it with a nice soft air spray and uses car polish to clean off the fingerprints because you want it to look pretty for its pictures. I suppose the temptation would be to put these pickups back in the Carolina guitar when it comes back from paint. But where would the fun be in that? I think this is gonna sound just fine.